Hi, this is David, and I'm not funny today. I'm having fun today, but I'm not going to be funny. So if you're looking for funny, go somewhere else. I drove down to the St. George, which is 3 or 4 hour drive. Oh God, now the Danites can draw a circle and know where I'm at. And I went down to visit an LDS daughter who is not shunning me. This daughter is one in a million, and she is now, turn my fan down here, she is now telling me, there we go, that she has taken her garments off, and that she has many doubts about the Mormon church. Well, I didn't say yes or no, I didn't cheer, I didn't say, oh good, I'm glad you're seeing the light. I thought all those things, but I didn't say them. So, here's what I wanted to talk about on this video. If you have 35 and 40-year-old children that are blaming you because their lives are shit, listen up. I've had to think about this overnight because I just need to do that. I'm bipolar, and if I do things immediately, many times they're wrong. They're still wrong when I think about them overnight. But anyway, I went down to visit her, and one of my sons is living with her. Now, if any of you follow our family, you'll be in jail. But anyway, Stephen, my drug addict son, he's trying to, I don't think he's trying to put his life together. He never has put his life together. I had to sit down there and in front of my grandchildren and my daughter and my wife and my children. I took Allison down with me. Stephen starts in on the Stephen Joseph Smith story. Stephen takes no responsibility for anything, anytime. He's 35 years old. He's been addicted to drugs his whole life, since he was in 11th grade. And he says to me, well, you're a bad dad. Now, I'm candy coating the way he said it. He says, you're fat, you're ugly. Maybe he should just get on here and make comments like the Mormons do. I don't know. So, I'm at an age and stage, and I guess that's why I'm doing this video, is that everybody hopefully gets to this stage where you don't give a shit. When you hear your kids say, oh, I'm a bad person, I'm in prison, I'm a drug addict because of you, you go, you know what? Screw you. It's not me. It's your personality. It's the way you came to this planet, and it's the way you make decisions. Certainly, the decisions that we make, we have to be responsible for. Some are good, some are bad. So he said to me, well, I don't think you should go on the internet and tell them our family secrets. I go, Steve, we don't have family secrets. We have assholes in our family. They're not secrets. The whole world knows that they're assholes. And especially me, the father. And I'm part of that group, I'm sure. I'm not trying to elevate myself above my children. Well, yes, I am. Let me tell you something. My father and my mother never paid a dime for me to go to BYU. The Mormons paid 70% of my tuition, and I'm grateful for that. I've always said that. I'm grateful for that. And they took me as a C+ student, which a lot of universities won't take you. So I'm grateful to the Mormons for that. Screwing me out of my money for the rest of the 50 years of my life, I'm not grateful for. But you gotta tell the facts as they are. You have to be truthful. Well, I spent my own money and my own time going to BYU. I worked for a Nelson Paint and Glass in Orem. I worked for a Jones Paint and Glass, and I worked with Utah Valley Transit. I was a charter bus driver all the way through BYU, and I had to drop out of school many times to earn enough money at a summer job and go back. It took me 6 years to get a 4-year education. Now, that wasn't intelligence. Some will say it was. Many will say, most of my teachers will say it took him 6 years to get 4 years. But I didn't have the damn money. I'm not Mitt Romney. I didn't have socks that I could cash in for tuition. I lived in trailers. I lived in hellholes. Sometimes I didn't have heat. Anyway, I'm not going to make you feel sorry for me. Most of you just turn this on and you feel sorry for me. Anyway, I decided as a human being, my parents didn't encourage me. They didn't force me. They put no pressure on me. I said to myself, self, do you want a college education? And myself said, gee, you're too stupid. You'll never get a college. I said, well, maybe I could. No, you can't. So there's like the little devil and the angel on here. And so I decided to go get an education. It wasn't easy. I told you, it took 6 years to get 4 years, my first 4 years. I paid for every damn dime. And I'm glad I did it. I wish I'd had a different university than BYU, but hey, you got to take what you can get. Well, then I went on. I did my master's over at in Tahlequah, Oklahoma, northeastern state, and that took me 2 years. That's what it's supposed to take. And my other postgraduate credits were on time. The point is this. I decided to do something with my life. My dad was a printer, not a machine. He went to the newspaper and he developed the news every day. And he ran a linotype machine. You're too old to know any of that stuff, or too young to know that. So I decided to get a master's. I decided. I paid for it. I worked for it. I missed a lot of life, parties, and birthdays, and other kinds of things because I decided that's how I wanted to use my time. Well, now I have this 35-year-old son. He's extremely handsome. I mean, the guy could be a model. Well, he is a model of what you do when you drop out of high school. This kid in 11th grade said, Dad, I don't want to go to school. Now, with 14 kids, I've heard that before. Usually it lasts one day. This kid has lasted 2 decades. And I said, Steve, if you don't graduate, people are going to think you can't get along with people, you're not very intelligent, and you make bad decisions. A high school diploma is better than not having one. No, I know everything. Okay. Well, I went to the school, and I helped develop a special education, I don't know why my throat, special education program for him. Well, he wanted to be a carpenter, so I set up a carpentry program, and the school was kind enough to make some exceptions. I wanted to see him finish 12th grade. Well, he went, excuse me, he went 2 months, and then said, I quit. Well, I was embarrassed because the school had accommodated me to try to get him to graduate. I took him to a psychiatrist, and he diagnosed him with oppositional defiant disorder. And by now, Stephen was pretty much into heavy pot and other heavy drugs. So he didn't graduate. And I said, Steve, you're never going to get a job. You're not going to be able to enjoy life or take care of yourself. No, I know what I'm doing. You've heard that from your kids before, right? So anyway, he is, I don't know if he's between marriages, I don't know if he's divorced, I don't know, but he has a couple of kids, and I know that he had to sell all of his snow equipment, that he was trying to develop a business moving snow. Well, he gave that up for child support. Well, now he doesn't have anything to give up. So it's like Joseph Smith. He's got bail, or leg bail. The faster he runs from the district attorney in the child support division, the better off he is. Well, anyway, he's down with my daughter. And I said to my daughter, well, what is Steve doing? Is he working? Because he said he was coming down to go to school. Well, you know, when Joseph Smith comes to your junior high school and he has all the 8th grade girls in the auditorium, and he's going to give a lecture, and he wants the doors shut and all the curtains closed, you're a little suspicious. Well, I'm a little suspicious. Here's a kid that didn't graduate high school, and now he's going to go to college. Well, a lot of colleges Junior college would let him in, I guess. Well, he went down there. He didn't go to college. He went into the basement. And he has now free rent, which he's always had, free rent. You always find somebody. And I said, well, is he working? Oh, yes. Yes, Stephen's working. And I said, well, what is he doing? He said, well, he's 35 years old and he's clearing tables in a restaurant. And I said, well, that's a success story. So anyway, and I'm not trying to say if you clear tables, you're an idiotic person and that I'm better than you are. Not at all. I'm just saying if you're 35 years old and a healthy, handsome young man, and that's as far as you've got in life so far, I'm saying I think you're a little behind. I don't think I'm better. I'm just saying at 35, I don't know, I had 6 or 7 children, and I had 1 or 2 master's degrees, and I spent my money and my time differently than my son Stephen has. Well, he doesn't like me going on to YouTube and talking about him. I don't care. I don't. Life is life. Facts are facts. And he wants to twist and turn the facts that his life is shit because I was a bad dad. Well, maybe, I was young, I was 28, 30 years old raising him, and I am sure that I made many, many decisions that I wouldn't make today. But Stephen is stuck in the 60s. So he won't let anybody change, and if people do change, then he has to change. So anyway, I'm sitting down there, and we started a civil conversation. Well, with Stephen, that doesn't last more than 15 seconds. Pretty soon, he's up on his feet, he's pointing his arms, he's walking back and forth across the room, and he's screaming, "You're fat, you're ugly, you're a bad dad. It's not my fault that I'm 35 and a failure. I quit school because of you. I take drugs because I'm under such stress. It's because of you. Steve, I haven't seen you for 15 or 20 years. Yeah, but they're left over. They're feelings left over." So I just sat there because I'm a counselor. I've been a counselor. I'm retired. I don't want to hear anyone's problems anymore. I've heard it all, seen it all, done. I'm relaxed. I'm retired. But anyway, he was my son, so I thought, well, I'll sit and listen to his shit. So in front of my kids and grandkids and wife and my daughter, he goes into this ranting and raving, and I just sat there. I go, So pretty soon, I come home and I don't feel good, and I'm saying, gee, I'm upset. What am I upset about? Well, I figured it out a little bit. One is I'm upset that grown children, I don't mean 18 and 20-year-old, I mean 35 and 40-year-old children, and some of you may even have 50-year-old children, and say, see, my life's a failure because my dad drank. Well, I think it's shit. I think every human being, once they're an adult, is responsible for their own education, for their own life and marriage and children. And if you have a shit life, it's your fault. It's not anyone else's fault. And as long as you continue to focus on other people and go, see, you made me bad, you're going to still be bad. You should be going, see, I need to get into junior college. See, I need to get a trade. I need to get, you know, a life. So anyway, Stephen has been a problem since he was in 11th grade. He's 35 years old, and he's still a problem. Well, what is my duty? What is my duty as a parent? Now, I know a lot of you are going to disagree with me. That's okay, because I've made my mind up, and unless new information comes in, I'm not going to change my mind. Number one, I did feed him, and he did have clothes, and he never was abused. And basically, he had school, he had church, he had transportation, he had recreation, entertainment. Maybe it wasn't to his liking or to his standard, but he had all those things. So as a parent, my basic obligations were fulfilled. Now, if he needed more or wanted more, you know, I have 14 kids, and I don't have a lot of time for each individual kid, which I regret. But that's his problem. That's not my problem. I gave him the necessities and more of life. Okay? Number two, I'm saying to myself, he's 35 years old. That's old. That's old for an adult. You're right in the middle of your life. And if you're a screw-up, you're probably going to be a screw-up the rest of your life. Not necessarily, but probably. Number three, I'm almost 65 years old, I'm retired, and I'm a pretty happy person. You know, I watch my TV, eat the potato chips, drink the Coke, and, you know, have a little intercom on my wall that I can call my kids and go, Dad needs a drink of water. And then, you know, I have a nice life. I have a nice home. I'm in a very safe place. Oh, don't say that. The day nights have now got me closer and closer. You know, I have new cars. We have retirement. We have jobs. We have insurance. My life is pretty happy right now, and I want to keep it that way. I had a bee, a hornet, come in the house the other day. The screen door wasn't closed, and the hornet comes in the house. Now, let me tell you something about hornets. If they're in your house, I don't care how big your house is, they're in charge of your house. You're running all over, you're hitting them on the ceiling, you know, they're flying, you're afraid you're going to get stung, and your life is miserable with a hornet in the house. It is. So I got some spray. Maybe I need some Steven spray. And I closed the patio door, and we killed the hornet. And yes, I will probably go to the firing squad in Utah for killing. But the point is this. At my age and stage of life, I don't want hornets in my house. I really want to be relaxed. You know, for me to jump up on the back of the couch and be trying to hit the hornet with a towel, and then the hornet disappears, and then it's in the towel, and I'm done dancing around the damn living room, and the kids are laughing their ass off, but they're running because they know the hornet is loose. And they go, Dad, get it, Dad, get it. They're not getting it. It's Dad. And I'm saying to myself, shit, I'm going to close that damn screen door. And I have a spray out there now, and if you spray it, everything within 100 miles dies. It's like an atomic spray. But anyway, Steven is like a damn hornet in my life. And when he's not in the house, I just keep the storm door closed, and I wave outside and try to be courteous and go, hey, you ever going to get a job? But goddamn, I'm not going to open the damn screen door and let that person in my house and in my life. So I'm to an age and stage of life where I feel like I've done my time. Every child thinks their parent could have done better, and that's probably true. We don't have a book on how to raise kids. We just have them. So I'm saying this, and I do that, and my background on this YouTube shows this. You are welcome to call me any names you want. You're welcome to insult my family. You're welcome to say that I'm a liar, I'm a cheat, I'm a thief. You're welcome to say anything you want about me, as long as it's reasonably civil. Now, some of the Mormons don't understand that phrase. And since they're mentally handicapped and in a cult, I just excuse it. The nice thing about this, I don't have to look at the comments. I don't have to read them. I can just click on it and be gone. But when you got a damn bee in the house, you can't sleep because you feel little things on your head, and you hear buzzing, and oh, geez, what? You got to get out, turn the light on, get the towel out, stand on the back of the chair, and you know, do your Buffalo Bill trying to rope that thing. Well, I don't want to do that. And Steve, you know, I know you look at my videos. You say you don't, but you've always been a liar. So anyway, I know you're looking at them. I don't want to be in my life. I'm willing to listen to people. I'm willing to discuss. I'm not willing to debate anymore because my mind is pretty much made up. After 65 years of living, I've decided how the world is, unless there's more new information. So I'm willing to not debate. I'm willing to discuss, and I'm willing to listen. Listen. But you're not going to elicit from me typical responses where I'm going to, when I was a counselor, I go, oh, yes, and how did that feel? Oh, I'm sure. You're feeling absolutely like every... I'm done with that crap. I'm a counselor now, and when you say, gee, I'm 35 and I don't have a job, I'm not going to go, oh, how does that make you feel? I'm going to say, what the fuck? You're 35 and you don't have a job? Get your ass out there. You don't belong in here in counseling. Go knock on the bricks and the doors and say, hey, I need work. And then shut your mouth and do the job well and move up. See, when I was a counselor, I couldn't do that. Now I can. And I do. I do. So, Steve, go get a job. Go get a job. Quit complaining. Quit bitching. The best thing you can do is shut your mouth. Your mouth has been your biggest downfall since you were in 11th grade. Learn to shut up. Learn to say yes, sir, no, sir. Go in and just do the job. Show up on time. If you're not going to be there, call in. You know, I told you on video the other day he had a good job, and I came home and he's sitting in my chair eating my potato chips and Coke and watching my TV, and I said, why aren't you at work? I didn't want to go. Well, Steve, you have to go to work whether you want to or not. That's why they call it work. They don't call it fun. And, well, they'll figure it out. I said, didn't you call in? No. My God, Steve, you're going to get fired. No, I'm too good. They wouldn't fire me. So, next day he goes to work, and 10 minutes later he comes home. He looks at me and said, man, they got balls. They fired me. I said, now, get the hell out of my chair, quit eating my potato chips, quit watching my TV, and go find another job. Well, that's where I'm at. If you've got hornets in your life, push them outside, or spray them with poison, and shut the damn screen door. And wave to them and smile, and, you know, I shoot through the screen door. The poison. My wife doesn't like that, but I stand by the screen door, and when they're trying to get in, I shoot them. Then they do this, fall off over the balcony. Oh, I don't have a balcony. No, Dan, I have no balcony. So anyway, I just want Steve to know I don't give a shit. I want Steve to know I think he's a loser. And I want Steve to know I think the world thinks he's a loser. And if he's standing out by a freeway ramp in 2 or 3 years and will say, we'll work for food, I'll stand beside him and say, no, he won't. He will not work for food. He just wants your money. So I'm going to close the screen door. I'm not going to cut him off. He's afraid that I'm going to cut him off. And I don't think he's done anything yet bad enough to be cut off, but he's certainly been taken to the patio with the door shut so he can't get in. I don't want him to call. I don't want him to write. I don't want him to do, you know, he can do videos. He's always welcome to do a video, and I'll put it right up. I'll put it right up. I've never not taken a comment. I'll take a video, I'll take a comment, and he can explain his drug background and his lack of high school diploma and his problems in marriage and why he doesn't have a job and why he's 35 years old. And all he's going to say is, Dad did this to me. Dad did this to me. So, yeah, I did it to him. I took him to a drug rehab in Vermont, and he escaped. Ran away from the drug rehab. So, you know, he's a loser. I'm sorry. Until he changes some of his ways and some of the things he says and does, I'm going to think he's a loser. And I know a lot of parents believe this. Now, I don't. A lot of parents say, well, you're the parent. You have to always be ready and responsible with open arms to receive your children. You're older than they are, and you know more than they do, and children make some bad decisions, and you have to love them unconditionally. No, I don't. No, I don't. I love them totally conditionally. They will get a job. They will get married and try the very best that they can to be a good husband and a good wife. They will be honest. They will pay their taxes. If they go to jail, I probably won't visit them. Say, screw it. You deserve to be in jail. You should have been in jail 10 years ago. Now, I know I'm different. I know I'm cut out of a very different material, and some people say that's a really rotten material, and that's okay. I'm an individual. I have 14 children. 7 or 8 of them are total idiots. They love the Mormon church more than they love me. They're in a cult. Nothing I can do about it. I don't believe you love unconditionally. If you want to, be my guest. It's an open invitation to a broken heart for the rest of your life. Live it. I don't care. But I'm not going to live it. My love is conditional. It's symbiotic love. They do things for me, emotionally, spiritually, financially. I do things for them. It's an adult relationship. Just because they're carrying my genes doesn't mean I've been submitted to slavery and misery the rest of my life. There's an old saying that you either marry your cross or you give birth to it. I've done both. I have 2 crosses I carry all the time. So anyway, to my children, you know, if you want to be adult and you want to love and be loved, man, I'm here. If you want to complain, bitch, and moan and not find a job and blame me for everything, I'm going to spray you with the wasp spray, send you outside, and I'm going to shut the damn door, and now I can look out there and see the pond and the beautiful trees and no, we don't have trees. Danites. No, there's no trees where I... I love it. I love the Mormons. Thanks.